made it.
I did.
Yes, great timing. I love the name of your place. Who ever heard of a place called Tyso? Or how do you say it?
Tyso.
You do say Tyso. Right.
Yes.
Anyone know where Tyso is? Tysoe? There you go. It's slam bang in the middle of England.
It's in Warwickshire and it's on the border of Oxfordshire and Warwickshire.
Oh, not too bad.
Because I live in Oxfordshire, I don't live in Tyso. I live about 8 miles away.
Yeah, we're very used to parish clerks who live nowhere near the land.
Quite right. Quite
It's
right.
a bonus. It's a bonus.
Don't want to live in the parish. Whatever next.
Yeah. The your Google entry or your Wikipedia entry says you're near to Stratford-on-Avon.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So,
That's our district council.
right. Bad luck. Well, that means that we can get to your question earlier than I was otherwise planning. Thank you. Thank you very much for the advance notice. We actually have the people already here, Charmaine, who are going to have the answers. So let me place your question, particularly to Richard and John, hi, Andrew.
Hello.
It's a very standard question, gentlemen, but I'm expecting you to. There are verges alongside the highways in Charmaine's parish, and she and her boss feel that they have the first meter at the side of the road belongs to the highways department, and the second and any subsequent meters belong to the parish council. And what do we do about landowners whose trees drop boughs onto one of those stretches?
Graham, it's not so much the landowners sorry to interrupt. In this particular case, the landowner is happy to deal with his responsibilities. It's the verge, the 1 meter, that is causing an issue. And both myself and the chair thought that highways department took responsibility for that first meter. But at the moment, they're not.
So let me ask Richard. Richard, is that a standard thing nationwide, or is that on a per council basis?
I suspect, having had the joys of the head of highways on a Zoom call earlier in the week, that he'd refer you to the highways manual. So I'm gonna find the one for Somerset and give you an answer.
Okay.
Bear with me.
John, is it something you run into many times?
Highways not wanting to do anything. Yeah, we run into it every day.
That wasn't quite my question, but yes.
Answer to your question, I've got a tree less than 100 yards away from where I'm sat, which is within 12 inches of the edge of the road. It's dead, and we've had boughs falling into the road. After long discussions with highways, not their problem because it's not highways land.
Even though it's within a meter of the road?
It's well within a meter of the road. It's literally about 300 mil within the edge of the tarmac.
No, blimey.
And that's not their road. This is one of the things that we will be talking to about in our other meeting coming up later in the month, because we actually need definitive maps. What highways will supply you with in Somerset is a coloured map with coloured lines, which is literally so indecipherable, it's not believable. And they come up with answers like they're only responsible for the road for the first 12 inches of its depth. After that, it's not theirs.
Blimey. You mean if something happens underneath the road, more than a foot away, they don't look after that either?
No. No, this is a perennial problem.
Right.
It doesn't help Charmaine, and I apologise for that, but no.
Glad I'm not the only one.
No, you're not.
Well, let me just say good afternoon to Stuart, both Stuarts, including the one who is not going to be looking heaven. Oh, he is looking heavenwards. Look at that. There was the glance up towards the skies.
Just for
Probably become a reflex now.
Yes. Well, Angie, can we say hello to you and welcome back?
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, good to be back. It's summer holidays, and we do get some time to work from home, but it was a bit busy last couple of weeks because it's enrollments for the next year and GCSE results yesterday, so I couldn't come, but yeah, I've sneaked in today. I don't know if I can make it next week, but it's good to see everyone.
So does the name Ed Gemmell mean anything to you? He's in Hazelmere, Buckinghamshire, that Hazelmere, and he's also the leader of the Climate Party. And he addressed a banter session that I was holding yesterday, nothing to do with Parish Online. And he was basically holding up Hazelmere as an example to the rest of us of how we should be conducting our business. So I just thought I'd ask whether you knew anything about him or them.
Not heard.
It's hard to replicate the scorn in your eyes and your face, Angie. But clearly,
Not heard of him.
exactly. So not there. Good afternoon, Claire. And I should say
Good
hello
afternoon.
as well. All right. Well, how are we doing, Richard?
I'm going to put a link so that everybody else can have a look at the highways manual, because it's a long and involved bit. I think that's probably the easiest.
Right.
That's the Somerset one, although it is based on national guidance, blah, 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 blah. So, excuse me a second.
Yeah.
So the link's in the chat. That'll open up the document. I would suggest you read that at your leisure before
Thank
bed.
you very much.
And nighttime reading.
I would suspect there's one for each of the principal authorities somewhere. It's just finding it, knowing where it is. But that's certainly the Somerset one.
Okay. And so far, it doesn't identify who owns which bits of verge.
No. And the Parish Online, going back to us in Somerset again, under the Somerset Council level, we got verge cut-ins, which I thought was going to be the same as what we already had. It isn't. They've cut back on the information, and John will be pleased that he hasn't got any highway verge maintenance going on in his parish any more than we have in ours now.
I think that the verge maintenance in Somerset, the main policy is if you see a bee orchid, cut it down.
Right.
With the link, Richard, have you got to sign in for that?
Not according to me. Why has it come up with one?
That was me
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, well, in
Yeah.
that case, I'll go back to the other. Okay, I'll put the other one on.
It comes up with a SharePoint link you got to sign into.
Yeah.
Well, I isn't something that I had to do to get it. Okay, right. The following link, if you scroll down, it will say Highways Manual. I'll try that one.
Okay.
It's at the bottom of the page, and there's a link to the PDF from there, which is all I did.
Timing has to be spot on.
Sorry about that.
Straight drive. Yeah. I wonder Mark Butcher admired his shot. Those left-handers would.
Got you, or you
Not much sure about it.
Who's got the radio running in the background? Is it you, Pete? And good afternoon to you, by the way. Even if we don't see you, we can possibly hear you.
Mhm.
There we go. Thank you. Well, whilst we're all looking at the enthralling story from the Somerset Highways Manual, let me just check with the newcomers whether there are any questions you'd specifically like answered this afternoon. Start with you, Claire. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Graham. I've been going through your tutorials and I've been going online, so I've learned a little bit more this week. But there was one thing, because obviously I've taken this on from somebody else, and on the parish layers, where you've got things like the lampposts and things like that. They've all the WNC ones, as well as the ones that we look after, are all in the same spot. Is there any way of me moving the ones that are for West Northamptonshire Council into the asset mapping project area rather than having to move them all individually? Is there like a bulk?
You can try applying a filter for either your parish council. However, we'll have to. Have you got Parish Online up and running? Can you share your screen with us?
I can, and I've got the proper things now. So let me just is that? Sorry, let me just minimize the thing. Right, share the screen. Now, I just have to quickly. Sorry, I had this. Right, so if I go into these bits here.
You are not sharing your browser at the moment. You're sharing the Zoom screen.
Oh, am I? I'm sorry.
That's all right, no problem. So looking at your browser, I can't even see that Parish Online is open in your browser.
I have got a lot of things open up there. Right, so how can I?
When you open up the share screen, if you choose, it comes up with a whole window full of windows, and you can either choose the one that's specifically got Parish Online in it, or if you choose the top left one, which is the whole desktop, then you get free to choose to open up any window you like.
Did that work?
Yeah, there you go.
That one, okay. Lovely. Right, so if I come out a bit. Right, see, they're all in there, all these, so there's like loads of them all together.
Right, so which layer are you in there?
I'm in.
Are you in the parish layers?
I'm in the parish layers there.
Oh, that's excellent news. Okay, good.
And then where I want to move them to is this one. Asset mapping project.
Anyone familiar with asset managing project? I've never seen that one. Hello. Where does the asset management project come from, Claire?
I don't know, because like I said, I've taken it on from somebody else, and I've been told by the town clerk that that's where they should be going, is in it. Because basically what we want to do is separate what lampposts that we're responsible for, and then what lampposts WNC are responsible for.
Yeah.
Because at the moment you can't see unless you click all the way in to see whether we own them or not.
Can you just put your mouse over the asset? Oops.
Sorry.
Go back to the asset management project. I just want to see if it tells you who owns it, because I have no idea where that comes from. Anyone else familiar with asset management project? No, go down a bit further down the screen, Claire. See
oh, sorry, wrong one. That one.
Use this letter. Okay. I wonder how the heck it got there. Can we go up to your top right cogwheel and click on administration, and then just let the layers fill in? And can you just scroll down that list and see if you can find asset management projects? No. I got no idea where that's come from. Is that an export from your county or district council? Do you know? You don't know.
I don't know, because I've only really just sort of taken this on from somebody that left. So I'm sort of still finding my way through it, but there's loads of stuff on here that we don't need. And there's lots of stuff on there that we need to sort of separate out.
Right, so if you go back up to the icons on the top right and choose the globe, go back to your maps.
Okay.
So the problem I'm having is that you can move data around anywhere in your own parish layers, but you usually can't move anything around from a third party there. And I have to assume this asset managing project is a third party there. Can you just open that one up again? And now click on the right hand side, move the mouse to the right hand side of that beige layer, and just click there.
Mapping project.
Yeah, and click on the cogwheel. And now click on table view.
Found that early mugshot. We need that first photo. We need that back.
You're still getting somebody who's got a loud radio or something in the background. Can we mute you? Yeah. Sorry, Pete, I've had to mute you. You'll have to come in when you're ready. So this does look, it's behaving very much like a parish layer, isn't it?
Yes.
I'm amazed that you've got it, but never mind.
Could it perhaps be a county layer which county are you in?
West Northamptonshire Council.
I wonder if it's put in by the county.
It might well be.
We've got a number of Somerset layers down here that presumably other people don't have.
Yeah. So if you come back to your map, please, Claire.
How do I get back there? Do I just close out of this?
Yes, just click on the X.
Okay, lovely.
And so that is the asset layer, is it, that map? Interesting.
But as you can see, we haven't got any, but I think if I do this, so look, everybody else seems to have all of their, and that's all their lampposts and things that belong to the people within sort of the neighbouring councils, but it's in WNC, and I want to do the same so that it's uniform.
Yeah. I think what I would suggest you do is go back up to your own parish layer and click on one of the ones that's got lampposts in it.
So it's that one. Oh, not that one, that one. That's it.
Can you go down and click off the asset management project? Because that's getting in the way now. Just turn that one off. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so you do have a lot of lampposts, don't you? Right.
We do.
If you go to the tick, Claire, and turn it into a cogwheel and then go down to table view. Ooh, no table view. That's interesting.
Just duplicate the layer and see if you can duplicate it into the asset mapping project.
That's a good try.
So click on the duplicate layer.
Yeah.
Oh.
And you want to say duplicate layer.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't think you see it's not copying it, it's duplicating, which means you'll just create another layer within the one. There it is. It's just created a copy for you. So that was no good. If you the reason I went into table view hopefully was to see what the fields are. If you got there, can you click on add feature? So click on that little cogwheel and select add feature. Wow.
I think it's the amount of streetlights you've got.
Where's that coming from? It's a lot of data to unload by the look of it. It's always nice to recognize firsts when we see them, Claire, and this is a first.
I'm glad you're excited. It just petrifies me every time I touch it. I just frightened that I'm going to do something that lose information or
No, you're not going to do that. He said, no, to get rid of information in Parish Online is quite a determined action. You know, they say, are you sure? Are you really, really, really sure? And please type delete if you mean it.
Delete.
Yeah.
Yes, because I did try, once I got my administration rights, I deleted one of those extra tabs that I asked you about last week.
Yeah.
And it did come up with the delete again. So and I managed to do that.
Right.
Oh my goodness, it's taking forever.
It is. Can we just click on the X at the top?
This one?
Yeah. And go back down to the layer again. So just slide your mouse down to, yep, that one. And mouse over the tick.
Yeah, click on.
Well, no, actually click on the cogwheel. So click on it again. And now click on the cogwheel. Yeah. And go into filter.
Filter.
And if you click on filter column, what does it offer us?
Maintenance.
Well, council. Is that that's all you've got? Okay. So can we go into council? And then let's say choose the operator and say contains. And then who are you as opposed to your Warwickshire, did you say?
Northamptonshire.
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 Right. So and which parish are you?
Brackley.
Can you just type that in and see whether it filters on that? Yeah, and save. Woo! It's got rid of all of them. So they're all applying to council to Brackley.
Yeah, so I think it's because they're under WNC, but they're in the wrong bit. I need them to be out of our parish one and in a different, so it's the county council rather than
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a bank holiday Friday ticket.
Absolutely.
That's really impressive bank holiday weekend.
Let's try and think of a few of them for.
So Claire, you might want to turn the filter off now. Just click on it to turn the filter off. Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
I think we're going to have to suggest that you're going to have to go to Geosphere with this one.
Okay, perfect.
It's beyond our pay grade.
Okay, but thank you for trying.
Well, I'm sorry. I must say, it's rather strange that they've exported a layer to you called AMP without sort of saying who owns it or what it is. Well, never mind. So I would suggest you can either write an email, or if you're familiar with opening up tickets within Parish Online, you can open up a ticket, but the email is the same thing. Just send it to support@geosphere.com, and Geosphere is GEOXPHERE.com. Yeah, and just say, we had this issue and this is what we want to do. Can you do it for us?
Perfect.
They'll probably say you've got to go back to Northamptonshire.
Okay.
But still,
do any of those other layers work within your parish?
Yeah, so it's these four that I need to have moved. I've got obviously that's really the only dog, because they're all listed as NWC at the side, but they're like in our layer. We don't really want them there.
Yeah, agreed.
Before you go too much further, as soon as we've copy, do you want to delete that copy layer now so that it doesn't create problems if
Oh, yes, please.
So go back up to your cogwheel in the top right.
Yeah.
And administration, let it come down and scroll all the way down to the bottom. And see the one that says WC lamppost -copy? Highlight. Yeah, click on it once to highlight it, and then go back up to the top and click on the dustbin.
You'll have to scroll up, Claire.
Go back to the top.
There you go.
think.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Thank you.
You're welcome. What? So, having failed dismally to do anything to help you here, Charmaine, sorry, Claire, is there anything else that we can help you with?
Not at the moment. I'm still sort of going through the tutorials and like trying to teach myself how to use Parish online. So yeah, at the moment, so that was one of the things I wanted to do and ask you about, but I haven't really got anything else that I wanted to specifically ask you about. I just sort of come on to listen to you guys talking and see if I recognise anything, and then I go back and have a little play and see if I can replicate what you're talking about.
Right. Have we lost Peter? He got fed up with me muting him and he's run away.
Looks
I
like
think we
it.
have, haven't we? Oh dear. Can you unshare your screen, please, Claire?
I certainly can. I can get back in there.
Richard's got a highway law book.
Introduction.
It's the second edition from 2001, so it's not as up to date as it, but it quotes section 142 of the Highways Act 1980, which is also
Clerks manual.
quoted within the most up-to-date SLCC Clerks manual, and about trees, and doesn't talk about verges, but the duty for the highway authority to do stuff has changed. In other words, they did have a duty, but since the 1980 Act, it took it away. So, but there are a couple of sources there that you may find useful.
Stuart's just put a link in the chat for yet more legislation.
But yeah, that's the 1980 Highways Act.
Yes.
Sounds like one for SLCC.
That might be the answer, actually. Yeah.
I'm not able to give legal advice, but I can show you where you might find it.
Right.
Said the clerk.
Graham, sticking with the theme of verges, can I share my screen?
Oh, Chris, go for it. How nice to hear from you.
Now then, share. So would that be of any help to Charmaine, I wonder? Who is responsible for what?
Yes, the verge is the responsibility of the Highways Authority for maintenance, but it doesn't give you a size of verge.
No.
Where does this slide come from, Chris?
I've got no idea. I downloaded it from somewhere, but don't ask me, I've completely forgotten.
Riparian guide. It's a Riparian guide picture. Out of a Riparian owner's guide.
Yes.
Wow. How about that? Nothing escapes the eagle eye.
There's one thing there's one thing in it that's missing, and that is culverted drains there, I think.
Yeah.
Now
Well,
it
says piped ditch. Is that not the same as a culvert drain?
Where is it?
Bottom left.
Pipe ditch. Oh yes, I see that. Now this is interesting because we've had an issue with this. Right. You can have a highway verge where highways own the drain underneath it, but they don't own the verge.
Yes. That's because it's under the highway, isn't it?
Yes, because it's underneath.
A culvert under is their responsibility, I think you'll find.
Yeah, which creates interesting problems when owners have planted hedges on them, or they've built walls or something like that, which we've come across.
Oh my!
It comes back to the Highways Act, that section 142, because the Highway Authority can grant permits to the occupiers of premises adjoining to plant and maintain trees, shrubs, etc.
I'm very pleased I don't live in Somerset. It seems to be a hugely complicated county.
Yeah.
I don't know it was ours particularly.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, the interesting thing is that I have a house here with a pavement outside, and I actually own the pavement.
Well, you better maintain it then, because I think
Yeah,
I might fall over next week.
I know I have to maintain it.
Yeah.
And I have to
right.
make sure that things don't grow over it because it's a right of way.
Aye. Do we have any more questions? Because I've got one that's been sent in by a written in person who was going to join us by 2:30 if they could. Well, let's give them another 5 minutes just in case they're running late. But otherwise, I thought we'd address it publicly so that she can have a look at it through the recording. And there's going to be one there for John because it's his favorite topic. And the other one is well, it's going to have to come from memory because I have okay, so we'll just wait in case. No, that's right. It's Natalie who is not going to be able to come. So let me put the questions to you. So specifically for John, talking about organizing layers. All of our custom layers are currently in one long unorganized list. We'd love to group these by department or theme into sections within the layers panel. Is this possible? And I wrote back and said, John will answer this because it's his favorite topic.
Well, the answer is no.
Precisely. But then you go on to say,
if you go into administration, you can arrange the layers in groups there within your parish layers.
Yep.
Or you can arrange them alphabetically or whatever.
Just for the sake of Natalie, you wouldn't mind demonstrating that, John, please?
Yep, hang on.
What we've done, this is a long time ago, we started we built it into a sorting mechanism into the layer name by putting a sort of prefix of the name of the person who had created the layer, or not the name, the initials.
Well, I remember you doing that, and then you said the problem was that 3 years later you couldn't remember what any of the initials.
Exactly, I couldn't remember what they meant. Yeah.
If you go into administration, and then your layers will then come up there.
Yep.
You can pick a layer and move it physically to any place within that column.
Perfect.
So you can arrange your layers how you want there, but only your parish layers. What you can't do is move them to another place within Parish Online.
And you can't put them into
the reason Graham gave me the question, because it's something we've been asking for a long time.
We want the folders, don't we, to put them in?
Yeah.
Correct. And I know it's under discussion at Geosphere, and Andrew will be able to confirm it's perfectly feasible to do this in XMAP. So the facility exists, but we go back to Chris's concern about not making it more complicated than usual for Parish Online users. Again, for Natalie's purposes and for anyone else who's new, we have also discussed in the past having a 2-tier level within Parish Online, so that there's the version that everyone gets, and then if you feel that you're competent, you can pay for a little extra to get a few more facilities. And I think that idea is being bounced around as well, but so far no answer. So thanks for that, John. The second question,
one thing to sort of caveat what
Stuart, your lips are moving, but nothing's coming out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, sorry, to caveat what John was saying, effectively you have to be an admin to be able to change those layer orders around.
Yeah, I forgot that bit.
Yeah.
You can't do it in Data Manager? I'm pretty sure you can do it as a data manager. You've gone back to silent mode. You're really interesting today, Stuart.
I haven't changed anything. I don't know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Changed anything. No, Yeah, it might be, yeah, admin data manager can do it, but certainly as a reader, reorganize.
And the reader cannot and the editor cannot, but the data manager can. So I think it sounds as today, Stuart, as if you set up your microphone on a pendulum, and as it sort of comes within to hear you, but then it goes out of range just as quickly. So
I do apologise.
you probably felt that we were all getting very bored, and you would make life more interesting thereby. So
It's perfectly motionless on top of the monitor, so I don't quite know why.
Okay, well, it does. So let me go on to the second question that's been sent in to me, and this is one for everybody to see if you can come up with an answer. Natalie would like to be able to draw a radius on the screen, which will show the boundary of a specific distance. It wasn't clear to me whether this radius was a smooth curve of a circle, or whether it was actually just following the line of a boundary and highlighting it to be clear. So I'm afraid she's not here to answer that question, but let's assume for the moment she wants just a curved radius to show a distance from a specific spot. Would anyone have any ideas on how to do that? Please. Well, I thought I'd be inundated with ideas. I suggested it might come under Tools Annotate, where you have the facility for drawing a line at whatever distance you like. Would anyone like to comment? Demonstrate? Well, let me share.
You wouldn't be able to draw a radius. You can draw a series of short straight lines. That would be the only way to do it.
Yes, you
can
do a full
constraints checker.
You can do a full a full circle in Annotate. So if you want to draw a circle of 500 meters from the central point, that's a piece of cake. But it's not clear to me whether when she says radius, she means, a circle at a distance from the object. But, well, just in case she's going to follow up by checking the recording of this session, I'd better do it. And no one else is going to volunteer, are you? Miserable bunch. So let's go into Parish Online, wherever that might be. Yeah, that's for sure. So for the purposes of Claire, let's just suppose we have a crossroads here and we want to draw a circle of radius 500 meters around that crossroads, just to see what falls in. You could go into Tools, Annotate, and you can say we're going to have a new object. It's going to be, this is rather misleading this, it's going to be a polygon. This you might think is a circle, but it isn't, it's a point. So what you want is a polygon that's round. So you're going to choose a polygon, and then you say, I want to use a circle. And then you can say, I want it to be based here, let's just say, and I want it to be that, that big. And then you can just judge that. And then if you want to make this a firm radius, you can say, let's make that 500 meters, say. And now that's a 500 meter radius. And if you want to put a label on it, you can say 500. Let's try one of those sorts of meters. So that's the offering that I can make. So if a radius like that, if that's what you meant by radius, well, then we've answered your question. And if you meant something else, please do come back to us. By all means, email me with your thoughts. Thank you.
Graham, there's no way of transferring annotations into an actual layer, is there? I mean, so that they become a permanent part of the layer, is there?
Not that I've come across. I think, I wonder if, let's just try that. If you can create one in a specific layer, does it stay tied to that specific layer? So we can go back to there, we can go back to there. So let's go and turn on a layer. One on a mowing contract. So we're in the mowing contract layer, and we still got these other two, haven't we? So I don't think so.
Yeah.
So afraid not.
That would be a nice addition, wouldn't it? That's another thing for their bank holiday.
I think you want to be able to annotate all parish layers individually. It does make a lot of sense, but they will answer that the annotation layer is meant to be very temporary. You just do it for whatever.
Yeah, but that's my point. Is you've got a rather good drawing tool in the annotation layer, but you can't use it in real layers. But it would be nice to be able to.
Yes, you can always bring it in. When you start up a particular layer, then you can turn on the annotations, and provided there's no other annotation in that particular geographical area, then you'll just get the one that's pertinent. But I agree. I think having an annotation tool per layer would be very helpful.
Yeah. Okay, that's their second question for the bank holiday weekend.
Well, but it's the first question to be put in by Andrew today, and as you know, I'm under instructions. I'm not allowed to put in any tickets to arise from these meetings.
Yeah, for the purposes of this weekend, my name is Chris Edwards.
Send in your email accordingly. Right. Stuart Withington in the county of Essex. How's the world of Essex? How are you doing with getting more layers out of your council?
Absolutely nowhere.
And have you been able to recruit Simon Miles at Geosphere to your team, or is he not getting involved yet?
No, I had no response to the lamppost request. Well, no, in fact, I did have a response to the lamppost request initially, but they were imported just as plain dots. There was no information behind them. Whereas I can go onto the Essex Highways GIS and click on the lampposts, and it gives you all sorts of information. Are they working or not? What their codes are. But I didn't get any of that information coming over. So I've been a little bit disappointed.
The way I interpret Simon's note in the knowledge base is that if you send him a copy of that particular page from their GIS.
I did.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Oh, no, I think I sent the address.
Well, that's close enough to the same thing. Oh, does he need to get in with a login and password, or can anyone get access?
No public access.
Oh, well, that's very disappointing.
I mean, Essex actually use it as a complaints thing. If you've got a problem with highways, go onto this website and let us know what the problem is.
And they haven't responded?
No.
And nor has Simon Miles?
No.
Give up. That's very disappointing, isn't it? Really.
Yes, and I've approached Uttlesford to see if we could get any planning data out, and again I've drawn a blank there. Though our new officer for planning did pop along briefly to one of these sessions, so he does seem to be quite keen on using Parish Online, but I've let to persuade. Haven't yet managed to persuade anyone else in the town council, councillors or officers, to actually use Parish Online.
Huh.
But I'm hoping we've now got a very large TV, so projecting computers at meetings is now a doddle. I'm hoping to persuade the planning officer to start looking at Parish Online when we're having planning meetings. But I say I haven't managed yet to get any data out of Uttlesford, who are our planning authority.
Well, it's been what, at least 5 years that we've been pressing Somerset, and we're beginning to see some progress. But it's
Well, that's encouraging.
Sorry about that. It's tortuous, but John has managed to set up a meeting with the head of GIS on the 6th of September, so we'll see where we can make any progress there. I've also got a note on some things that are new or arrived recently in Parish Online. This is more for those people who don't yet get the newsletter, because I think this has always been put in the newsletter, but there's been a requirement for everyone to re-sign for their aerial photography of Great Britain licenses. So if you haven't run across that yet, I got a message from someone today saying, was it a scam or was it legitimate? And it is legitimate. They do need to just have you confirm that you are in fact looking at that data, or you might wish to. So by all means, just go ahead and sign the request for a new APG license. It doesn't cost anything and it's more or less instant. So that's easy.
Graham, I thought that that business about the license, they were going to actually improve the aerial shots, but that's not the case, because if I click on the aerial view of my parish, for instance, it's exactly the same as what's happened over the last few years. There's no improvement at all.
Well, maybe it's if you sign here, then we will do something about it in the due course of events.
Oh, right. Okay. Yes.
I'm just speculating. I don't know, but
yeah.
I would have been very surprised if the act of signing the license suddenly entitled you to a much better photograph.
Yes. Yeah.
But yeah, the other thing that we established, and this would be interesting perhaps to you, Angie, as not having been with us for a while, but last week, Stuart showed us how you can copy data from one layer to another, even if they're different types of geometry. So I think we took a waste bin and put it into, I guess a waste bin is just a point, so maybe it is the same.
We took a computer and put it into waste bins, yeah.
And because it was a rubbish computer, which we hoped we thought you'd enjoy the humour.
I previously copied from one layer to another anyway.
I think yes, I think the question we were asking last week was, do the two layers have to maintain the same sorts of data, or can you copy one from one that is...
Oh yeah, no, if one was a polygon and one was a point, I couldn't copy from one. Yeah, I'm with you now, yeah. It was either one or the other, wasn't it?
But also suppose that the waste bin one asks you for the name and number and location of the waste bin, and the building equipment one wants to have also, when did you buy it, how much did you pay for it, what's its depreciating value, how often do you inspect it. They may be very different questions, but you can still copy the data that you do have into it in some form or other. So that was just something that we established last week.
Is that a new feature, or is that just something you've worked your way around, sort of thing?
Well, Stuart, you knew all about it, but the rest of us, it seemed to be quite new to.
Yeah, no, I don't know whether it's a new feature as such. It's just something I became aware of more recently, being able to accomplish having looked into it. But, yeah, how long it had been set up, I don't quite know.
They have been quite sneaky of late in putting in all sorts of things that we haven't actually noticed until suddenly someone says, wow, where did that come from? So there we go. Anything else for anybody that they would like to raise, discussion, talk? Yes, man in the top left corner.
Not on my screen, I'm not. As the honourable member for Ansford is with us, I wonder whether there was any use in his PROW signage collaborative layer entries about his roundels that are missing on his footpaths, or whether he's noticed anybody taking any notice of it. And the other thing was, where's me bell gone?
Little notifications.
mean, notifications bell's gone, so presumably they've given up and taken it away because they hadn't updated it since 2022.
Yes, and
Ours hasn't been there for some months.
Yes.
well, there's all sorts of icons gone missing from the bottom line, hasn't there? Because we don't have the little lightning dash anymore. At least I don't.
Yeah, we haven't got that either.
I've got one that says English, so I presume I can have it changed to Transylvanian or something.
Welsh.
Yeah, that's a new one.
Yeah.
Welsh.
Welsh or Romanian?
Romanian.
Yes, exactly. Spanish, Romanian, and Welsh. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, they're obviously going global in due course.
Oh,
I wonder what language they're
Go.
going to choose for the United States.
Go on, Chris. Answer me question over your collaborative layer entry.
Right, hang on a minute. I'm going to share my screen. I was going to actually bring up the point about annotations.
Oh, good.
Now, I fill up my screen with annotations and then I simply delete each one that I don't want anymore. The question is, if we were to use a bookmark, could we save the annotation into a bookmark with the annotation? I've never tried it.
Well, what happens if you try it now?
Right.
I mean, presumably the bookmark is going to bring back whatever you've got showing on the screen at the moment.
Why won't it accept my input? Oh, there we are, test. Let's just do it. Right.
So
Look
change
for test.
change the main screen if you would. Go to something else. Yeah. Go to another bookmark. There you go. Oh,
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it's in every one of them.
yes, well, that's the whole problem with annotation, isn't it? That's
Yeah.
really what Andrew was saying. You can't get rid of the annotation.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, doke.
You can turn it
Right.
off.
Turn it off. Wait a minute.
There, I
There we
think.
are.
Yeah.
Now, Richard.
So now, out of interest, if you go back to test now, does it copy it? No, it didn't.
Not there.
No.
Would you believe it?
All
Anyway,
right.
Richard, what layer am I looking at for the my
Lampposts.
no,
No.
what was it you
Oh, is it
Your
bookmarks?
collaborative layer on PROW management issues. So PROW management, collaborative signage, I think it was. The other one.
there we are.
There's only you
They're
and
there.
Wellington in Somerset that have put anything in.
All right.
And I just wondered whether there was any value into actually putting it in, because presumably it's because you've got issues.
Well, this is really to highlight a route from the state railway station into the centre of the town. And if you follow these way markers, for people who don't know our district, obviously that's a help to them. But I mean, probably not many people will actually look at those. This is really for our councillors more than anything else.
Ah,
But
right.
if you made that a public map, then everybody could see it. All
Yeah,
those people
true.
who come, all the tourists who come through,
Yeah,
all the
But
people
wouldn't
who
you-
come and visit you from Glastonbury.
yeah.
In
So
Central Kerry.
this is what we're trying to do, is have these way markers put up along the route.
Does that mean you're going to be run over by a train?
No,
That's that HS still going through there again.
what was that, Angie?
That's that HS2 going through there as well,
Oh
Chris.
yeah. Yeah, well, yeah.
So I quite like that idea. So yeah, the PROW one.
Are there any changes with regards to HS2 since the change of Parliament?
Well, the viaduct has gone over now, so over the Wendover a bit. They've got this huge, big steel viaduct going for miles. They've slid it in place, so it goes from one area, piece of ground, to the other area, and there's a big dip in the middle. So we've got a bridge over whatever.
With a
huge
dip,
amount of steel.
with a dip in the middle. It's a bit like a roller coaster.
Well, that's where the train's going. And then the cars will go over the top.
You haven't got a photograph of that, Angie.
I have, but not on me at the moment. Let me see if I can find. Probably not in the time that we've got. Let's have a look. You carry on topsy, then I'll see what I can find.
Claire, although you wouldn't know, Angie holds the record for having done more with layers than anybody else in the country put together.
About that.
Is there no questions from anybody else? So that once Angie's shown her photograph, we can wrap this up. Not putting any pressure on you, Angie, just that
I think I've got it.
you're holding us all up from going to the weekend.
Is it that one?
Oh my goodness.
It's
If you're Harry Potter, that's where you meet the Dementors. Nice.
huge pieces.
I'm not quite sure what the point of it is.
So you can get to Birmingham in 20 minutes quicker. Look at the land destruction.
Well, I meant this particular tunnel. What's it there for?
This is the one I wanted to show you. That's the one.
Oh my God, look at that.
Yeah.
It's just extending itself. That's very clever. Whoops. God, no wonder everyone's worried about AI. This thing is just taking over.
Yeah.
Isn't that clever? Whoa.
What's the purpose of this thing that's just doing that?
It's going over countryside that's not flat.
No, you said something about it's just crossing over the railway, is it? It's not.
The trains will go. The trains will go underneath, and the cars over the top.
Yeah, there isn't a railway there. This is the whole idea. They're building the railway.
I wonder why they didn't think of that idea for the whole length of the HS2. You could put cars at the top of the tunnel. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it does, but it's huge.
Sure is.
Did you watch that happening?
No. I just follow it on Facebook.
I think it was in slower time than that, Andrew.
Well,
I think Angie probably I was probably a week's worth of filming.
I thought it was just on a few rollers and one click and there it was.
Only in my talk.
I like the comments from Ian Sands wants to know what percentage of that it costs to fix every pothole in the country. Yeah.
Can I just ask, is the original plans for HS2 included a cycle track all the way up, going from London to?
Yep. We've got a few bits. At the moment, that's the Windover part that I just showed you, and now they've moved on to Stone, so Tame in Oxfordshire. They're closing the A418, so they can go across the road at the moment. So, which is causing 40-mile diversion all around.
You imagine quietly pedaling away on your bike, and that thing goes past you at 100-mile-an-hour plus.
Yeah.
I'll get there quicker.
But they are actually putting in paths and bits and pieces either side.
Oh
my, look at that.
Oh, there you are, Angie.
Oh, look. Got it in your paper.
And that's called the leveler.
That's not called that.
Right. Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank
3
you
o'clock and all
so
time.
much for your time.
Good to
Yeah.
see you all.
Thank you, folks. Have a good
And
weekend.
Andrew,
Thank
we're holding you to a
Okay,
commitment
thanks.
to write a ticket, Andrew.
Bye bye.
Take care. Take care,
Bye-bye.
all. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.